Hi Leo, welcome to the Manifesting You YouTube channel. This is your June 2016 general love and romance reading for the sign of Leo. Please keep in mind this is a general reading. You can also check out your moon or your rising sign for more insight. And if you need even more clarification, I am offering personalized love readings on my website. So without further ado, Leo, let's get started with your reading. Okay, Leo, so this first card is going to represent your energy, your hopes, expectations, and fears for love in the month of June. The middle card is going to represent the obstacle or the challenge in love. And the third card is going to represent the outcome or the realization. Okay, Leo, so for your energy, we actually have the wheel. Very interesting energy here. So what I'm picking up on, and this actually kind of relates to your June reading for the law of attraction, I feel that many of you are in a deeper spiritual place where you're looking at the meaning of things. You're looking at the connection of the universe. Because the four different points on the wheel represent the four different signs, so air, water, fire, and earth. I feel that you've learned a lot, Leo. I feel that in your relationships, you've probably studied different elements so that you can understand different personalities. And whether it's your current relationship or you're looking to be in a relationship, I feel that many of you have sought out knowledge to understand your partner and your relationship more. And I feel that many of you are on that spiritual path. With this card also, I'm getting that for you in love, what you're realizing, this is kind of your hopes and your fears, is that everything changes. And so whether you've been kind of in a frustrating situation or a really amazing situation, you are recognizing the impermanence of the universe and that things are constantly in motion. So as far as hopes goes, you're hoping that if things haven't gone well in love, that you're ready for a change. And obviously this is a positive card, that wherever you're at in the cycles of life, that things are constantly changing. So if it's been negative, it'll be positive. And if it's been positive, you know, this too shall pass and things will change. And, even negatives can be positives, as we know, that if one door closes, another one opens. But I feel that, you're more in touch with the universe and in the cycles of life and the cycles of just how things shift and change. And so I do feel that many of you are hoping for a positive change in your relationship, that maybe you're dating someone and you're like, maybe this person could be the one, or, maybe this person has the potential to go farther, that this could be something lasting. Or if you're in a current relationship, you're hopeful that if things have been frustrating or challenging, that now is the time that things are starting to get better, or that you're feeling improvement. So this is actually a really positive card, that things are going to change for you, Leo, in the positive, and that in the month of June, that things are going to shift for you. So I do feel that you're more spiritually connected. I feel that you are learning more about your partners, or learning about just people in general, as far as if you're going to attract a partner. You're studying the different signs, the different energies, and you realize that the only way to have a healthy and whole relationship is to be balanced within yourself. So, because we have the four elements, and everybody, as they balance their personality, they can, be a better partner to somebody else. So as far as fears would go, it's kind of the same thing. It's, if things are going good, there's a fear that it's not going to last, or there's an understanding that, great times don't last forever. Or even if, you're just dating someone and it's like going really, really well, or this relationship seems awesome, there's a little bit of a fear of, well, how, is this too good to be true? Like, is it going to last? And so the way to look at the wheel, though, is that, if you trust God, everything is working out for your highest good. And even if one door shuts, another one will open. And things are constantly shifting, but as long as like God and, you know, your highest self is at your center, you're going to continue to attract only good things, whether the wheel is shifting or changing, regardless of what that is. So I just feel like a lot of you are just going through a strong spiritual transformation, and you're probably doing that with your partner or about love in general, because for Leos, love is very important. Now, as far as what the obstacle or the challenge is for the month of June, we have the 5 of Cups. And so what this tells me is that, Leo, you have a huge heart and you feel deeply. And this tells me that for some of you, you've loved and you've lost. And this could be a past lover. This could be a relationship that you just left behind, or this could be just how you're feeling, where, you know, this is obviously just a card of feeling an extreme loss. And even though there's still 2 cups that remain, that really doesn't matter, because the pain of these 3 is so intense and so devastating that you just, you know, just depression, sadness, regret, kind of crying over quote unquote spilled milk, or, or just what if this, what if that. That's going to be the temptation for the month of June. So if some of you, because of fate, you know, that the relationship has ended, or maybe you've chosen to move on, or maybe you're just out dating, but there's something in the past that really broke your heart. And the temptation is going to be to just, you know, you just see how much deep waters is just to, you know, have all this sadness, or just to feel that regret and just that feeling of loss. And it's okay to feel that way, but obviously you don't want it to overtake you, because there are still 2 cups here that remain. There are still 2 cups that have, you know, if one door, like we said, one door closes, there's another one that's opened over here for you. But, you know, when your heart's been that broken by something, people can say whatever they want, like, just get over it, you know? But, you know, until you're ready to do that, you can't do that. And I understand that, and I sympathize with that, especially when something was a great value to you. And so, you know, the obstacle and the challenge is going to be, there's obviously for some Leos, there's just this deep emotion that, you know, this regret, the sadness, maybe something hasn't turned out in the past the way you wanted, and you're wondering, like, will I ever love again? Will I ever find someone that has my heart like that? Or is true love possible, or whatever it is. And because it's a cup, it's an emotional, this is emotional. And because you actually have 2 5s in your reading, it talks about stability. So the challenge here for the month of June, Leo, is just feeling emotionally stable. Maybe, I mean, all these 3 cards here are kind of talking about feeling emotionally unstable, or having instability in your life. And so maybe some of you Leos have come through some type of love trauma or whatever, and you know your hopes, you know, and that's what I love about Leos. They're optimistic. They hope for the future. Even though their heart is hurt, they're going to believe that things are going to get better. And, you know, the universe is saying, yes, absolutely. This too shall pass. It's not always going to be hard. It's not always going to be sad. You know, fortune and good things and love and romance could be just around the corner. And so I feel that you are aware of that. And maybe you're coming out of a time of feeling an instability, or feeling emotionally unstable, you know, instability. And so there's just a lot of change happening, I feel like, for Leos in relationships in general, and just how they're maybe you're still with someone, but maybe it's how you're viewing it, because your whole spread here is about change, and that the universe shifts, that nothing stays the same, that it's in constant motion and constant fluctuation and growth. And, you know, that involves your heart. I mean, you can't help it. Leo, you have such a big heart, and you love, when you love with your all. And, you know, that's kind of a pro and a con, because we love so much, but if that goes wrong, or if it doesn't work out, you know, we're left with just this devastation. And so that's going to be the challenge, is just allowing yourself to feel, Leo. And, you know, if there is some grieving necessary about a loss or something from the past, but just remembering that there's still something there, that all is not lost, that there is hope, that even though you're feeling this, that this too shall pass. It's not going to be forever. You know, the wheel is constantly in motion. And in fact, I feel that for this month, things are going to be looking better for you in love. And just remembering that. But obviously, because you feel and you are so connected in love, you know, there are going to be emotions as well. So as far as the outcome or the realization, we actually have the 5 of Wands. And so this is a fire energy. So I feel like this is you. So towards the end of the month, I feel like after this process, after this like being spiritually in tune, and you know, you're going to learn through whatever you've been going through, learning through all these processes, feeling some emotions, you know, thinking about the past, you're going to get fiery towards the end of the month. And I like this card. This is like, you know, you're only going to dwell here so long, Leo, because you are a fire sign, and eventually, you know, you're going to say, all right, enough is enough. You know, granted, I'm sad or whatever, but I'm not going to stay there forever. You know, you're going to get your wand out and you're going to be like, let's go to battle. Let's go to war. This is almost like a feisty, fiery energy. It's actually competitive. And so I feel that the Leo pride, the lion pride, is going to say, okay, let's go. I'm ready. We're going to go at this. So if this is a relationship, you're going to do what it takes, Leo. You're going to, you know, whatever it takes to be the best, you're going to get your fierceness back. You're going to get your, like I said, it's this feisty kind of almost competitive energy. And what I like about this is we have all the different colors represented. So I feel that your sense of optimism and your sense of joyfulness and playfulness, you're going to get, you know, like playful and ready to go back out there, or ready to, if you're currently in a relationship, ready to, you know, go at it again with enthusiasm, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, you know, an edge of competition. So for some of you that are in relationships, and if you're in a relationship and things are going to start getting better, there might be some regrets, but you know, towards the end here, we actually have a little competition. So for some of you, there could be a little natural, healthy competition between you and your partner. And this just tells me that, you know, the activity is going to increase, the excitement, the thrills, the competition. You're going to kind of get your edge back. You're not going to stay in this sadness and depression. I mean, you have to feel what you have to feel because you have to grieve. You can't deny your feelings. But at the end of the day, you're going to be ready. This card also kind of talks about impatience, and there actually almost might be some frustration, some pent-up energy based on everything that you've been through. So even though there's going to be like a flurry of activity, it could also be, there could be a little bit of, you know, anger, frustration, aggression, competition. You know, the lion can let you know they're there, you know, if they get like that. So it can actually, you know, have that firepower energy. And so I would say that activities are going to increase, excitement, thrills, definitely change. You have a lot of change going on this month in love. So yeah, I really feel like, Leo, you're about balancing this month. You're about, you're in this place of trying to understand how you got to where you're at, or where you're going from here. You're taking in, you're assessing all this information. You're taking in knowledge from the universe. You're definitely still feeling your emotions from some situation that you've either left, or from the past, or that you've gone through with your current partner. And at the end of the day, your fire and your zest for life is what's going to propel you forward and move you into whatever direction you're going in next. And whether that be with your current partner or in pursuit of your next adventure. So really exciting, kind of interesting reading, Leo. I really hope this has helped you. If it has, I would so appreciate if you would like and subscribe to this channel. That's going to ensure you to get all the messages, the tips and tools on how to manifest and be your highest and best self. So Leo, thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful rest of your day.